So why is Marjorie Taylor Greene so in Kevin McCarthy's pocket? Perhaps she's made a deal that we don't know about with Kevin McCarthy. You be speaker. And all of this talk of investigating January 6th, it goes away on my part too. You know, a lot of Congress members were involved with the Capitol being breached on January 6th of 2021. We've heard some of their names, but we don't know the full extent of their involvement, of their complicity to a crime. Obstruction of an official governmental proceeding is a crime, and anyone who was involved should be held accountable, including members of Congress. Anyone who has information or knows the whereabouts of the DC pipe bomber who planted bombs on January 5th of 2021 near the RNC headquarters and the DNC headquarters that could potentially have harmed, maimed, or killed scores of DC residents. Anyone with any information, please contact the January 6th Select Committee. Happy New Year. And something, as they say, smells rotten in Denmark with this deal that Marjorie and Donald have with Kevin. Something smells rotten in Denmark with it. I know Donald. He doesn't want to go to prison, even though the evidence is overwhelmingly there. But then there's this sexism attack against Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's not okay. Calling her Large Marge. See, this is why the Republicans have a problem with women nowadays and getting them to vote Republican. You want to get rid of and blame all of the Republican losses on a woman, Ronna McDaniels, and not Donald Trump, who selected Ronna McDaniels, lost the House and the Senate at the White House, didn't pick up the Senate, and barely scraped by in the House during a red wave year in 2022. The best the Democrats have done in 86 years under Sleepy Joe. Joe is asleep. Doesn't know where he is half of the time. Should be in a nursing home, according to what Republicans say. And yet, Dark Brandon continues to win. Continue underestimating Sleepy Joe. You're in for a rude awakening in 2024. Conservatives. The sexism is not okay in the Republican Party. Nick Fuentes is sending his white nationalists to heckle all Marjorie Taylor Greene events because she dissed him, as the kids would say on the street. She went and spoke to him knowing he was a white nationalist. And then when the heat was turned on in the kitchen, she disowned one of her own. So he has a right to be upset. But it's bad aesthetics to send white racist young men to heckle a woman who agrees with you. They're running out women from their party in droves. Whether it's the sexism that they're displaying over at Turning Points USA by not supporting and blaming Ronna McDaniels for everything, by Donald Trump not being sufficiently loyal as he claims Jewish Americans aren't, but he can't even be with his own chairwoman he selected. He says, I like Hamid Dillon and Ronna McDaniels both, and I won't endorse them. But Ronna is paying his legal bills. Hamid has never paid one single bill. Can you imagine? Somebody pays your legal bills. All of them. Hundreds of millions of dollars that the RNC has raised has gone towards paying Donald Trump's legal fees. And he won't even endorse Ronna McDaniels, who signed off to the banks to pay this bum's legal fees. Talk about misogyny and sexism. But he'll run to Kevin McCarthy's defense over Andy Biggs. Andy Biggs actually objected and said that there was fraud when he knows that's a lie for the Donald. And yet Donald Trump is not supporting Andy Biggs for Speaker. Instead, he's supporting Kevin McCarthy. And Kevin McCarthy wasn't planning to object. Andy Biggs was a Trump loyalist. And Trump is showing disloyalty to Andy Biggs. He could have stayed out of the Speaker's race just like he stayed out of the RNC chair race. But he chose to interject on behalf of Kevin and not Ronna. What does that tell you really about how Donald thinks of women who are even the most loyalists to him? Ronna McDaniel, you should be ashamed of yourself that you're still a Republican, taking that type of abuse from cokeheads like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk looks like one of the frat boys in Animal House that sniffed cocaine. And he's a party dude that they put a suit and tie on and say is the face of young conservatism in America. What a joke. And Ronna McDaniels is having to be bullied by him. He sent an email to all 168 RNC committee voting individuals telling them that they should back Hamid Dillon, threatening them